Good morning, everybody. Go ahead and move this up a little closer. It's not picking up very well. I'm going to go ahead and drop into the chat the handout for today. I'm going to give everybody that is on our live feeds a couple more minutes to join us since we just barely went live. For those that are joining us on Zoom, go ahead and drop in the chat where you're joining us from and what industry that you are in. For those that haven't joined us before, I am in southeastern Utah. Most of the businesses I work with are in the hospitality industry, as well as I personally work in the e-commerce as well as the financial industry. So as I go throughout this presentation, you'll hear me talk about those industries a lot just because that's my personal experience. So if you would like to let me know, if you would like to let me know what industries you're in, I can hopefully try and make this a little more personalized for you. Okay, it's 9 o'clock straight up. We're going to go ahead and get going. For those that don't know me, I'm Megan McFall. I am the regional director down here in southeastern Utah for the Small Business Development Center, as well as I am over the Spark building. So you'll see a lot of Spark in my marketing and things like that. Since we're talking about marketing today, I'm excited to talk about those details. First off, I want to start off by thanking our partnership with Grow with Google and Google for giving us the content for today's class and to be able to pass that information along to you. We do teach Grow with Google every Monday morning at 9 a.m. I know that that's a tough time to get out of your businesses or your work. So we really appreciate for those that are able to join us today. It looks like we have some joining us from the Salt Lake area, all the way from the UK as well, which is excellent. Super excited to have everybody here with us today. I want to also thank our co-host for today, which is the Rural Online Initiative. That is a USU extension program, which I absolutely love and is a big part of our programs here at USU Spark. The Rural Online Initiative was started in an effort to basically promote remote work and to help those that were looking for remote work to become more familiar with that. On my end, I thought I was an expert in remote work. I had e-commerce businesses. I had multiple businesses that were online. So I thought I was an expert. When I took that class, I kind of got a little bit of a humbling experience and realized I didn't know as much as I thought I did. So if you're a remote worker, an online worker, I would suggest that you take a look at that and see that. If you are a business owner like myself and have employees that work online, I suggest you look at the leadership training that they have. It's an incredible program that shows you how to look at your business and create a remote program for your business and kind of move some of your jobs online. It was an incredible program that helped during COVID and helped kind of businesses create those online programs that were very much needed. Welcome, John. Looks like you're joining us from Green River. That's absolutely awesome. I'd also like to welcome all those that are joining us on social media. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube. So we cross many platforms. As I talk today, if you have questions, feel free to put those questions in the chat if you're joining us on Zoom. If you feel comfortable to come on live and talk to me, I really appreciate that. I teach 3 classes on Monday, and so I get really tired of hearing my own voice. And so I'd love to talk to you and interact with you. If you don't feel comfortable coming on live, go ahead and put those questions in the chat. I try to catch them as I am talking. If I don't catch it, we'll go over and do the Q&A at the very end. But I do like to customize all these workshops. It's my favorite part, that I'm able to make these very specific to those who are attending the class. So if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat. And we'll go ahead and get started. Our agenda for today is we are going to talk about marketing and the customer journey. We are going to how do you reach your prospects and create awareness, the engagement and influence on the consideration process in the customer journey, converting and pave the way to purchase, and then sustain loyalty and encouraging advocacy. We used to call that raving fans. There's a book that's called Raving Fans, and so that's in my mind. I'll talk about raving fans, and that's why I talk about that. And then last but not least, we'll recap and talk about different resources that are available to you to move into the next phase of the process. So first thing we're going to talk about is marketing and the customer journey. So an incredible quote by Seth Godin is marketers don't make stuff, they make meaning. Okay, that's an incredible opportunity for us. People will follow a story, a meaning behind a product rather than just a product. So if you can create that through your marketing experience, it'll change how people feel about your product and what you're doing. I want to introduce you to two people. They're the founders of TW Totes. It's Shalyn and Sharika, if I can say that right. And they wanted to basically create a professional lunch tote. Shalyn was going to work and he tried everything he could think of to take his lunch to work, but he wanted it to look professional. He tried a brown paper bag, he even tried the plastic bag, he bought different things online, trying to be this professional to take his lunch to work, have it be cold, and he wanted it to be cold if he needed something insulated, just could not find what he was looking for. So he created his own bag, realized that there was a niche market there, and wanted to go ahead and go into business and create this because there are other people needing the same thing. So many new entrepreneurs often have passion for an idea. Okay, and they have a product or a service that people need, but at the end of the day, they have very minimal marketing knowledge. And that is what makes it kind of hard to go fresh into business. And so gaining that marketing knowledge is going to be important. So what is marketing? Number one, it creates meaning and tells stories. Two, it builds relationships, trust, and credibility for you and your product. And then three, it influences customers along their journey. Okay, let's break these down a little bit more as we talk about the customer journey. There are four things or four aspects of the customer journey. It's creating awareness, going through the consideration to purchase product, then ultimately moving into purchase, and then finally advocacy. If we break down these a little bit further, we can talk about how we can influence that through marketing. Okay, awareness is talking about the reach. How are you going to reach your customers? Consideration is engagement, going through that engagement process. How are your customers going to get their questions answered? Through the purchase process, that's converting those leads into actual customers. And now what does that process look like for you? And then last but not least is sustain. We are creating sustainable businesses. Do they become loyal customers? Do they become raving fans for your business? Okay, reaching prospects and creating awareness. Let's look at that first step. How do customers find you? How do we create awareness? That might be through like a Google search, for example, word of mouth, your advertising in general. It might be through like a trade show marketing or even searching just plain online, okay? Those are some different options that can create awareness, and that's all determined by you, your industry, what type of awareness you want to create, okay? Reaching prospects, prospective customers, you need to identify your customer. Who is your ideal customer? Who is going to purchase from you? You need to brand your business, and branding is more than just a logo and a few colors. It goes much deeper than that. Your brand tells the story of your business. And then last but not least, you need to get your business or your product online to get in front of those customers. Okay, identifying your customer or your market segment is going to be really, really important. Identifying who you're going to serve and how you're going to serve them is going to determine how you're going to do your marketing. So knowing the demographics, the psychographics, the geographics, and the behaviors of your customer is going to affect how you move forward in this process. So breaking them down and knowing who your ideal client is going to be really important. Some people call it their avatar. Some people call it their ideal client, different things like that. Whatever you call it, you need to break it down. So this is essentially what your avatar needs to look like. This is what your customer persona needs to be broken down and look to. Okay, we're going to talk about Metro Michaela here. Metro Michaela is in about her mid-30s. She's female and single. Okay, she lives in a large city. She's college educated. She works in fashion. Okay, she is interested in cooking and wine and travel, and she shops local shops. Okay, all of these things are very, very important when you're breaking down your ideal client and who you're going to serve as part of your marketing services. Okay, think about your business and what you serve, and how would you market towards Michaela? How would you market towards this specific persona? For a minute, now think about how you brand your business. Like I told you before, branding is so much more than just a logo and some colors, which has been a misconception for many businesses for a long time. Yes, branding is some logos and colors, but it's also the graphic elements that you bring into your business. It is the messaging and the tone of voice that you use when you do writing and you create content. It is so much more than just your logo and your colors. And by combining all of these, you can essentially tell a story when people see that. When people see everything, your logo, the posts on social media, your website, do they all tell a story of your business? And people can look from an eye content and say, huh, that's from this particular business. From just a very simple view. And that's what you're trying to create with your brand. Okay. Branding is based on value and ideas, creating an identity that appeals to your prospective customer. Who you are, okay, who you want to be, and what you stand for should all come out within your brand. All of these are stories that you tell within your brand and your messaging that will come out as part of that branding your business. Okay, creating a brand positioning statement. This is really, really important that you do when you are creating your brand for your business as a whole, but also as you're branding each individual product or service that you're creating, whether that is an ad or whether that is just an overall statement for a marketing team, if you market externally as well. So who do you serve? What are you offering? And what differentiates you from your competitor or somebody else that offers that same service? And then your promise or your mission to your client. Why, what sets you apart? Why are you in business? Okay. So this is an example of a brand positioning statement. It has placeholders and places that you would add those different information for your particular industry or your particular business so that you can go in and fill in those gaps. Now, it's really great to have a template such as this as you're moving through your business so that as you create a new product or a new service, you pull out your template and you can create a brand statement for each product or each service that you have. So like, for example, when my businesses, I use an external marketing services. So I can create this brand statement for each item that I have them marketing and then give to them, and they know immediately exactly what they're going to create and how they're going to create it based on my marketing statement. And it solves a lot of the questions that they're going to have right off the bat. Okay, so going back to TD Totes, this would be their brand statement or positioning statement. For working professionals who need a stylish and functional lunch bag, TW Totes provides fashionable, insulated, vegan leather totes because everybody deserves a luxurious and functional lunch bag for the entire family can use. Okay, That is their brand positioning statement for their lunch tote. Okay. So getting your business online, once you have your statement, you need to get your business online. Now there's multiple ways you can get your business online. You can do it through social media, you can do it through directories, you can do it through online marketplaces. There's one thing I want to caution you about, okay? A lot of these things that I'm listing here are things that you personally do not own. One of the problems with building your business or building your brand on a platform that you do not own is that can be changed at any time. It can be, the rules can be changed, the costs can be changed, you can be shut down at any time. Social media can be really finicky. A lot of jokes are about social media gel that go out there. And then if that happens or your business gets shut down or censored in a way that prevents you from running business, what have you lost if you've exclusively built your media or your business on social media? It is very, very important that as you're building your business, you build on a platform that you own in addition to these. So that can be a website, that can be an email list that you own that asset, okay? So that if for some reason you do get shut down or you do lose a social media platform or a directory, you haven't lost your entire business and everything that you've worked for. So be very cautious of that. Even website hosting sites will be very specific and read the fine print. Some of them will be very specific and state that they own all content and property created on their site. So again, go back and read the fine print and make sure you own the items that you're creating so that if something goes down, you've not lost everything, okay? Build your own website because number one, you own it. Number two, you control it. So you're able to go in and SEO, you're able to go in and do the analytics, all of those things that are going to be really, really important to move forward. And next, you grow it as your business grows. The website's going to be important. If you go into how to make your website work for you webinar that we did earlier in this series, it is up on our YouTube page. You can go back and watch it. We talk about 86% of Americans will actually go and look online and see the product online before they purchase either at your website or in your store. So having that website and having that presence is going to be extremely important as you move forward. So creating that website is going to be important for you. Okay. Well, that got shifted a little bit. I'm gonna have to fix that. Sorry about that. So creating a free business profile on Google, again, talking about 86% of Americans will actually go and search online before they purchase on your website or on or in your brick and mortar store. You want to make sure that you have a presence on Google search and that you control what it says, as well as you have it on Google Maps. I don't know about you, but I am a big proponent of anytime I travel into another city, that is my go-to. I go to Google Maps and I look at what I'm looking for, and that's how I pick where I'm going. Also, the reviews right there tell me everything I need to know about a business in general. So if you do not have your business put on Google, have a business profile on Google, I suggest that you do that. That's one of the coming up classes. If you don't know how to do that, I suggest registering for that so we can walk through that process together. You want to be the person that controls the information about your business online. And if you are the one that's up front, that's controlling that information, it's going to be really, really important. One of the things a lot of businesses don't know is that when COVID came out and shutdowns came into place and things like that, Google followed the local mandates for all of like Google Maps and hours and things like that. So there's a lot of business that are still listed as temporarily closed because the business owners have to go in and make that adjustment. And so if you have not gone in and evaluated your Google listing recently, go and do that so that you make sure that you're not listed as closed when you're really open. How much business could you be missing out on if you're not updated properly? Okay. Engage in influence considerations. Okay. Consideration is the process that your customer will go through in considering whether they're going to purchase your product. How are you going to engage in that process and help influence that through that process, okay? Where can your clients find the answers that they need to move through that process? That is a really important question to ask yourself and figure out how can you make that process more seamless for them, okay? Evaluate your brand and see if your brand is telling them or answering those questions and telling them the story that you want or need them to know. And then gathering the information that you need from your clients and making sure that the answers are there for them. It might be in a Q&A page. It might be in some demonstration videos on YouTube, whatever that looks like. Gather that information so you can start putting that together. Engage with your customers. Listen to them and learn the information. You might be missing some information that's very easy for you to update or very easy for you to put out that it might be vital in order to get them to move from the basic process of considering your product to purchasing your product, okay? Communicate and deliver value. I always call this process the freemium. You need to deliver value to develop that credibility for that person or your customer to move into the purchase process, and then develop relationships. We buy from people that we tend to have relationships with or that we engage with. So develop those relationships so that you can hopefully move them into that raving fans status, that loyalty status, okay? So listen and learn. Determine their pain points. What are their pain points and how does your product or service basically affect those pain points? Address challenges. What challenges are they facing that you can either address with your product, or you need to maybe make adjustments to your product so that those are no longer a challenge? Okay, and then find out what they're searching for online. This is going to be key, especially in the marketing process. We talk about in a lot of these classes about taking the online searches multiple layers deep. So we think of our initial product and the basic key terminology that goes with it, and that's what we put as our keywords or our key searches. Now take those again another layer deep. What are some additional verbiage that we can put with those words to take them an extra layer deep? What are the next side step to that? For example, let's go back, I'm in business. I've talked about my business multiple times. If I'm in business and I own a wealth management firm, the first thing we think about in wealth management is investing and insurance and things like that, right? But the truth is I also do debt management. I also do financial planning in multiple different layers. And I can go through in all of those different steps and think about how people are going to search savings plans and things like that, and use those keywords as developing my keywords for my marketing plans. If I do that, then I can take it multiple layers deep and actually hit whole new marketing groups and customers that I would not be hitting if I just did the basic keywords of investing and insurance and annuities that most people think when they just think basic wealth management, right? So taking those multiple layers deep is going to be really, really important. Okay, so what are they looking for? What are your customers searching for your products? Okay, a great way to go to or to figure out what customers are searching is through Google Trends. And if you go g.co/trends, you can go in there and you can type different words and you can start looking up the trends for your industry and your product, and it'll start helping you lead into those multiple layers deep, as well as it will help lead you into different verbiage and phrases that will help lead you into looking into the groups of customers that maybe you're not targeting right now, okay? If you go in and search on Google search results for those different segments within your product and service, down at the bottom of the first 10, it'll have suggested searches for that area as well. And so that'll also give you an idea of different phrases that people are using in order to get to that next level as well. So identifying popular search terms with Google Trends, we talked about this a little bit. So Google Trends helps you explore what the world is searching for, and see search interests that are by global, by city level, different things like that. So you can actually see the analytics through the trends on the geographic levels as well. So you can really, by using trends, get really deep on how different words and different things are being affected, and really target your audience very, very well. Okay. The next is communicate. Share valuable content, educate and inspire, help with research, and establish expertise. Okay, this is going to be a really, really important level. Again, it's helping move into that next level. Again, I call this the freemium level. This is where you're adding that value. This might be a Q&A page on your website. For me, for a long time, it was a free questionnaire that they could fill out to see where they were personally on their journey, on their financial journey. For the e-commerce side of my world, it was free shipping once they hit a certain financial level. It is different things like that, but it's helping share that. Also, when you're going back to thinking about getting them through the process, think about how you can do that through video. Sharing valuable content can go back to video. We're more likely to watch a video versus reading a piece of paper or reading a post. So thinking about how we can share that through video is going to be another really powerful way that you can market your business and be very customer focused. So sharing valuable content might be a demonstration of your product. It might be sharing some valuable information, the top 10 tips on a certain area of your business or that you're trying to hit key-wise. Okay, sharing your content through many channels. So there's many channels that you can share your content. Social media seems to be the big one. Email is another one. Many of you saw this particular workshop via email list because that is another incredible and undervalued opportunity to market your product and services. YouTube is a growing channel or a growing opportunity to market your products and services. Podcast is currently a growing opportunity that is moving into the monetized area as well. Online publishing is, again, still a building group, and then having your website and your blog. As we talked about in the Making Your Website Work For You, having a blog on your website, a lot of people think blogs are days of old. Those are the 10, 15 years ago type of a thing. When the reality of it is your website needs brand new, fresh content on your website on a regular basis in order to properly SEO. And so having a blog on your website is going to be an important way to keep your website fresh and up at the top of your SEO list. Okay. So sharing, not selling. Nobody wants to be sold to. And when you're in your business, you don't want to be the salesman either. You want to be sharing content, building that credibility, and being that person that people want to buy from. So great ways to do that are having a frequently asked questions page, or doing videos of frequently asked questions. Do comparisons and specs of your products on your website. Do the demonstration videos like we just talked about. Having webinars where you go through and you talk about what you do and how you do it, and giving enough information that they can build that value, maybe take that information and get started with. And then last but not least, having samples, letting somebody see what you do or seeing the product in action before they actually purchase. Okay, developing relationships with your clientele is incredibly important, especially moving them from just a basic client into a raving fan. So solving their problem. What we're doing with our product or service is we're solving a problem. And so we want to make sure we're solving those problems, listening to those pain points. And by doing that and directing that directly to our customers and our clientele, we can really develop those relationships. Having conversations with them, keeping it personal. There's a lot of incredible CEOs and business owners who still are in that multiple million range that still have one-on-one conversations with their clients, whether that be on social media or right directly in their store, because they're not willing to sacrifice the relationship with their clientele and the people that got them where they're at. And so it's going to be an important level to remember to keep that level of relationship and have those conversations, and then help them evaluate you, help them get the information and put yourself out there so that they have that information, so they can get that credibility that they need to purchase. Okay, I want to introduce you to another business. Meet Tracy and Danny, the founders of Wicked Good Cupcakes. These are pretty, if you have not heard of Wicked Good Cupcakes, you're missing out. Wicked Good Cupcakes is actually a really cool cupcake company that started back in 2010. They actually went on Shark Tank, if you watch that Shark Tank episode. But what they did is they started out as a standard cupcake company, and they're amazing. They're really, really good. And people wanted to actually have them ship their cupcakes to them. But by the time they got to them and they went through the mail and everything, they got jumbled and they looked like a wreck, and they weren't really cupcakes anymore. And so they found the pain point that their customer really wanted the cupcakes, but they were at a distance and they couldn't get it. They weren't fresh anymore. So they came up with a solution to put the cupcakes in a mason jar. By putting them in a mason jar, they were protected during shipping, but also because of the lid and the sealing process, they could actually stay fresh for 10 days, solving the freshness problem as well. So they took this, and now they're able to ship their cupcakes all over the world, and they added revenues by doing this, obviously. But they solved a major problem, and they are actually now have an incredible business that way. But essentially, they learned more about their customers and found out that pain point. They communicated with them. They identified an opportunity to improve their sites. They're constantly reviewing their site. They've improved their checkout process probably every 6 months or annually to simplify that process. They took out the requirement for them, for their customers to create an account. And so now they can check out as a guest. Another improvement that they made for those that are buying these cupcakes as a gift and shipping them or sending them out is their clients can actually record a video message and send that to whoever's being shipped that. So if it's a birthday or an anniversary, there's a personalized element as part of getting these amazing cupcakes. They're always looking for ways to improve their site, okay? And then they're giving reasons for their customers to come back and share that experience. They're creating those raving fans, adding things like quick checkout and the videos that go out to their gifts and things like that. They're creating those amazing opportunities, which is a really, really, really cool aspect, okay? Convert and pave the way to purchase. Okay, the purchase process. Do your leads become actual customers? Do you convert? Okay. Now, converting customers, identify key actions and ready. Tongue-tied, I'm sorry. Identify key actions and ready customers. Okay, key actions identify when your customers are ready to purchase. You'll have customers come to you that are ready to purchase right this second, and they're going to go through the entire process very quickly. You're going to have other customers that are going to come to you that might need a little more engagement to purchase that process, and you need to have that ability to identify. Empty carts or abandoned carts is a great way to know. People that sign up for your email list is another great way to know. Identify for your industry what is your ready customers and how to move them to that next step. Okay, share timely call to actions. People love to have that call to action because it triggers them to move on to that next step. What are the call to actions that fit your industry the best? Is it a purchase now? Is it a sale that lasts for 48 hours? What is the next step for your perfect clientele to move them to that next step? You need to create a list of those call to actions that work the best for you, and so that it is an easy pull up for you. And then streamline the purchasing process. If your purchasing process is more than 4 steps, from adding to the cart is 1, to I have my product, it's on its way is 4, then you need to reevaluate your purchasing process and figure out how you can simplify that. That might be just having a guest checkout, so they're not creating all of that. The process of creating an account, figuring out those different processes, seeing how many abandoned carts you might have. All of those details are going to be important. Okay, identifying actions and customers. Okay, again, we're going back. These are ready customers that you might need to help a little bit along, but they're ready to purchase. Okay, email signups, form completions, content download, trial or demo requests, app downloads, calls for consultations, and then placing items in carts. These are all signs that these customers are ready to purchase, but they might need a little bit more information. They might need a little bit more engagement. So taking that to the next level, having that little bit more engagement, that freemium to the next level, will move those into those from leads to converted clients. Okay. Sharing your call to action. I am not sure what happened with these slides. I apologize, guys. Share your call to actions. Now, your different call to actions are can vary depending on your industry, right? So you can have a discount or a deal that might have a timeline on it. You want to hand something to somebody and then take it back. We talk about that all the time. Okay, if there is an urgency to it, we will move faster. If they think that we have all the time in the world, we will take all the time in the world. So put it out there to them, give them a little bit of time, and then pull it away. We don't ever want to lose anything. So make sure you put a time on it. Okay, have an exclusive offer. Have a VIP club with an exclusive offer, whatever that looks like. Or if you purchase this product at full price, your exclusive offer is you get the second one for half price. Whatever that might look like for your business, but have that exclusive offer. Invitation to a webinar or an event. Purchase this product and you can have an invitation to this event. Or a lot of people are doing now, have this free event, and then at the end of the event, have your exclusive offer. That's another great opportunity. Okay, customer testimonials are worth more than gold. Okay, how many people will not stay at a hotel without reviewing the customer reviews? Right? How many people will not purchase a product on Amazon without reading the customer reviews? Think about that process and how that relates to your business and what you do. Okay, you can go and have Google do all your reviews for you. You just have a link, you put it on the bottom of your thank you card, and you will get your reviews, I promise. Okay. And then last but not least, free shipping. How many sites do you go on anymore that doesn't offer some sort of free shipping? Think about that and how that relates to your business and how can you add that value for your customer. That might be reevaluating the processing your pricing process, but again, in your customer's mind, that is a value add. Okay, streamline purchase process. Reduce the number of checkout steps. We talked about that. If you're more than 4 steps from adding to the cart to purchase it's done, then you need to reevaluate that process because you're losing your customers on your purchase process. Okay, offer guest checkout. Very, very important. Most people, especially in the first time they're purchasing, they don't want to give you all of that information. They just want to get the product and know that it works and it's good. And then they might give you all that information. So offering that guest checkout is going to be a really, really important thing. A great story that goes behind that goes for these particular classes. When we started these classes, we just had an email and a name for registration. For a while, about 6 months, the university actually had me do a full registration form, and I lost a lot of people because a lot of people don't want to give out phone numbers and stats and things like that so that I could collect that, and I lost a lot. I had to go and fight and say, I just need this information. I don't need all that information for these classes. Because at one point I had to put them in the banner so they had transcripts. I didn't need transcripts for these classes, and so I had to go and make those adjustments. Think about what you need to for that guest checkout in order for you to get exactly what you need in order to move them to the next level. Okay, provide the value add service or benefit. What is the value add? What is the freemium? Okay, that's the item that they're going to get that is going to be that incredible offer that's like that'll push them to that next level. It might be the questionnaire that I talked about. It might be that it might be the free shipping. It might be an additional service at a reduced price. Figure out what your value add for your client is that can push them to that next level. Okay. Google Analytics. Your Google Analytics are going to be valuable while you're going through this process, okay? Your Google Analytics is a free tool that helps you understand your visitor behavior to your website and your mobile apps, okay? By hooking this up and knowing those details, then you will know what your clientele is doing on your website. Are they going through your frequent asked questions? How long are they spending in the checkout process? Okay, how many videos are they watching on your website? You'll be able to know this information by having it hooked up to your Google Analytics. You'll also be able to know where the demographics are. Maybe your ideal client you think is in Utah, but it's really in Kansas. I had a client that had that exact situation happen. And so they were wasting a lot of marketing dollars in Utah when they should be doing it in Kansas, right? Because that's where the most people were purchasing from their business and most people were looking at their website from. And so by making that adjustment, they increased their sales by quite a bit. But knowing that had to go into the analytics so they could see that happening within their website, okay? Oh my goodness, I don't know what happened. Okay, convert customers online. Converting customers online can be as simple as a really great call to action and giving them a timeline on that, okay? You have 24 hours, you have 12 hours, whatever that looks like, and giving them a timeline so they don't think they have as much time in the world, okay? Show ads to the right people at the right time, okay? When they're searching for what you have to offer. It goes back down again to the right people, knowing your analytics, where the people are that are looking for your product, what age, demographic, having that avatar based on the analytics of your business. And initially when we start out, it's all off gut instinct. But the longer we're in business, we can really nail that down and know exactly who our ideal client is and who we're going to be able to market to and have the best return on that investment. So having that down and market to the right people and market to when they're searching for our product is going to have the highest ROI. And then having many formats available. That's going to be key. A lot of people, especially for ads and content, they'll create one format. Have multiple formats because you're going to have people with different personalities within your avatar, and you need to speak to those different personalities and be able to have that call to action that will speak to each one of those. Okay. Sustain loyalty and engaging advocacy. Going back to having those raving fans. How can you create that? How do you become loyal customers? Okay, sustain your customers. Number one, you want to build a customer loyalty by providing more value. You want to sustain your customer loyalty through offering programs and incentives. And then next, you want to encourage advocacy among your customers. It goes back to that word of mouth advertising. There's nothing more incredible than word of mouth advertising through your customer. It's invaluable and sheer gold in your business, and you can get the majority of your people through word of mouth advertising. Okay, so these are the items that you want to start looking at, and how can you build that within your programs? Okay, so building your customer loyalty. Stay in touch with your customer. Okay, that might be through email, that might be through newsletters, that might be through birthday cards, things like that. Provide stellar customer service. Have the highest level of customer service within your business. Okay, ask for feedback after classes, after consultations, after the checkout process. Make sure you ask for that feedback so that you know how you can improve your business. Okay, continually improve, always looking how you can take your business to the next level. What can you add or take away to improve the customer experience? And then delight them with unexpected ways. Okay, that might be the birthday card that they're not expecting, or knowing an anniversary or a Christmas card, or whatever that looks like. Delight them in unexpected ways. A free product here every once in a while because they are a loyal customer, right? Sustained customer loyalty, maybe having a VIP or an exclusive offer. Again, going back to thinking about how you can develop that within your business, discounts and perks, and then personalized programs. Okay. Customer advocacy, excuse me, having testimonials and case studies is going to be really, really important. Letting customers hear from another customer how incredible your business or your product is very, very important. Okay, having a referral program, having the opportunity for your current customer to refer somebody else, creating contests, and then social media sharing is also very important items. Okay, tips for managing reviews. So a lot of people get really nervous about having reviews online because what if they're bad? What if I don't get the best reviews? It's okay. Nobody expects to have every business to have perfect reviews all the time. Here's the key to that. Respond promptly, write genuine, courteous, but short responses as well, and then share the point of view, solutions and answers, and always thank them for giving you the information. And then avoid offering incentives and advertisements over reviews. Okay, you want to move things like that offline and do it personally rather than putting it online. If you put that online, you're gonna have a lot of people complaining so they can get something for free. You don't want to put that online. You want to put that on the side. So, but if you don't get a perfect score and you want to address that, make sure you address it promptly, but always thank your customers for giving you a review. Okay, how can they be an advocate? Okay, or who can be an advocate? Sorry, your customers, employees, partners, and vendors. A lot of people don't think about those. And then last but not least, influencers and affiliates. Those are becoming more and more popular, especially in the social media atmosphere, TikTok and Instagram and things like that. Those are the different ways that people can become advocates for your business or your product. Okay, so let's recap what we've got going on here. The first two is awareness and consideration. You want to define your customer, you brand your business, and get your business online. You want to listen and learn from your clients, and then you want to communicate and deliver value. Last but not least, develop those relationships that are so important. Okay. Next, the next two phases is purchase and advocacy. You want to identify key actions and ready customers. Okay. Share timely call to actions. Streamline the purchase process. Again, you want to know more than 4 steps and build customer loyalty, creating those raving fans. Sustain your customer loyalty by continuing to build those relationships, and then encourage advocacy by creating the programs that will develop that. Okay, those go through the 4 key aspects of developing a customer-based marketing plan and customer loyalty, which is going to be incredibly important into your business. So after we recap that, hey, you can grow your education with Grow with Google on Air. There's on-demand classes that are for free. They're recording of many classes similar to like we just did on every different topic you can possibly imagine. Next, if you'd like to have little 5-minute lessons on marketing and business, then you can download the app called Primer, and it'll send it directly to your phone. Last but not least, there are free tools on Google for teachers, businesses, job seekers, and developers that are always available for you. Google has provided lots of free tools. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of that and stop sharing my screen. I hit too quickly. Let's go ahead and answer any questions that are available or any questions that come up. I'm going to bring up all the different social media platforms as well. If you have any questions on Zoom, go ahead and put that in the chat or go ahead and ask them straight up. You're welcome, John. So does anybody have any questions related to what we talked to today? What's my YouTube channel called for the recordings? It is USU Spark. And I try to get those recordings up. I try to get them up today, but sometimes with editing and things like that, it actually will go up tomorrow, but it should go up today based on my schedule, and it's under USU Spark. I probably can bring up. When is the business profile training? I'm looking real quick. So the business profile training will be on April 4th, and where we will go over how to create a profile on Google and how to build your Google Maps and all of that out, as well as developing. You can actually use Google just like social media. You can post posts and events and things like that right on Google, and we will go over that within that one as well. But that's available on April 4th, and that's on, you can register for that right on our event, our Google Eventbrite page. Can you get the link? Yep, I will pass along the link real quick. Are there any other questions? Are there still scholarships for the professional certificates? Yes, we still have scholarships for the professional certificates. We do a cohort every month, unless there are enough applicants to be able to do 2 cohorts a month. If you would like more information on that, you can go to our website, and we'll have the information there. And there are the 5 certificates that are available. Google has given us 100 scholarships for those. And you can find the application on our website. You would like the link to that too? Well, I will get you the link to that too. Okay. Start passing these around real quick. So here is our main Eventbrite page. Are there any other questions while I'm pulling up these links real quick? Okay, so that second link that I sent you was the link that is for our training page. It gives you all of the access to all of our different trainings. And then from there, it'll give you, it essentially will take you to the registration pages for all of the different options. But the certificate application is the second box on the right, where it says apply now. And that's where you can apply for those certificates. And our next cohort will be the first week in April. Well, when those will be approved by our board. So anything else? I think we're about done. We are coming up on our time. We've only got a couple minutes left before we need to close out. So we're going to go ahead and look one more time on. Okay, doesn't look like I have any more questions across social media either. So we're going to go ahead and close out for today. We appreciate everybody for joining us today. We'll see you next week on Grow with Google, where we will go over through the next topic in our series. You guys have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.